All right, so just to explain my objectives this afternoon, so you think that I'm not wasting your time. Yes, we've heard maybe your strategy is to manage and improve process, but you need leadership to be able to execute that strategy. All right? I mean, all of what you learned in the last 2 days, balanced scorecard, that's all well and good. But if you don't have the leadership to execute those strategies, it's for nothing. It's just for show. People, it's like companies have values, vision, mission, on the wall, just to be able to say to people, we have that. But then, do you look at their company? Do you think the people live those values? You kind of wonder sometimes, right? All right, so it's really more than anything else, the leadership that we're talking about, it's a kind of a culture, okay? Say a culture of operational excellence. Many times, one of the biggest things that we see is this unaccountability. People, just don't want to hold themselves accountable. What do they do when they're not accountable? Their tendency is to do what? Point fingers, you see? So that's not the kind of leadership that we want to be able to execute strategies, because that's not going to go anywhere, and people are not going to get inspired to do that, and they don't get engaged with that, okay? So part of the material that Norlin mentioned, which comes from this book, Good to Great, how many of you have read this? Can I see a show of hands? No? Actually, it's not that new. So I recommend that you go to the library. I think if you work around here in AIM, if you don't take out the book, you don't have to have a library card. You can just, I'm sure they must have, several copies here. So I highly recommend it. We'll touch on a few of the principles in this book, in this presentation. But really, I mean, what I can share with you about this book in like an hour or so is not doing justice to this book. You really have to read this book. It's about 11 companies that he has called that's gone from good to great. All right? So, seriously. And you must have been given a handout. So, I'm happy to, if you think to yourselves after you've listened to this presentation and you say, hey, I got to have my colleagues or my team or my management hear this presentation, I'd be happy to come to your office to share this message to them. Hoo-ha!